토트넘이 10명의 선수로 노팅엄을 2대0으로 물리치고 2연승을 달성하는 모습을 보여주었습니다. 손흥민은 왼쪽 공격수로 배치돼 원톱에 히샬리송, 오른쪽에 브레넌 존슨과 삼각편대를 구성했습니다. 이날 노팅엄은 그야말로 깡패 축구였습니다. 경기 시작부터 노팅엄은 작정이라도 한 듯 손흥민에게 거친 태클을 시도하며 집중 견제했습니다. 전반 47분 클루셉스키의 크로스를 받은 히샬리송이 헤더로 선제골을 터뜨렸고 후반 클루셉스키가 추가골을 터뜨려 2대0으로 승리했지만 쉬운 경기가 아니었습니다. 승리 자체도 기뻤지만 토트넘 입장에서는 거친 폭력 축구로 일관하던 노팅엄을 상대로 끝까지 버텨 승리를 거뒀기에 더욱 기뻤을 경기였습니다. 현지방송에서도 이번 경기에 대해 토트넘의 완승이었다고 설명합니다.
I think it was a controlled performance by Tottenham. I thought Nottingham Forest tried to set up really defensively and trying to contain them, but in the end the quality of Tottenham and one man in particular, Kulusevski, really shone through and he was a difference, and that was a bit of magic that they needed to win the game tonight.
What do you think, Tim?
I didn't see where the goals were going to come from. I really didn't. You know, they started creating a couple of chances once Basuma's got sent off from set pieces, but I couldn't see where they were going to score. I like Morgan Gibbs-White, I really do, but not enough support to Elanga. You know, he tried his best, but he was thickening up the midfield as well. They got overrun all over the pitch. I mean, they dominated possession, Tottenham. They controlled the game from start to finish, in my opinion, created more chances and had more firepower. The cutting edge was there for them. Kulusevski, Richarlison, he's hitting some form now. He's got some confidence back. Son was a constant threat. You never know what he's going to do. And they lost Brendan Johnson early with a head injury. So they had to make a change, but Kulusevski just shifts to a position. Oliver Skipp comes into the midfield area and it was seamless. So it was really efficient and really they cruised to a victory tonight.
이날 노팅엄이 손흥민에 벌인 태클은 단순히 경기장 내에서 허용되는 압박 수위를 넘어서 도가 넘을 정도로 거친 플레이가 계속됐습니다. 전담 마크로 나선 윌리엄스는 전반 내내 손흥민에게 계속 몸통 박치기를 시도했고 심지어 손흥민이 넘어진 상황에서도 노팅엄 선수들은 전혀 신경 쓰지 않고 공을 빼내려고만 했습니다. 하지만 이런 상황에서도 노팅엄 선수들에게는 전혀 카드가 주어지지 않았습니다. 결국 상대 역습을 막기 위해 손흥민이 손을 쓰다가 옐로 카드를 받게 됐습니다. 영국 BBC는 심판은 손흥민이 쓰러졌지만 아무것도 하지 않고 VAR도 보지 않았다라고 심판 판정에 의문을 제기할 정도였습니다. 브레넌 존슨 역시 전반 27분 노팅엄 수비수의 박치기로 머리에 큰 충격을 받고 얼굴에 피를 흘렸습니다. 노팅엄의 폭력 축구를 방치한 주심의 판정 능력 자체에 의문이 생긴 경기였는데요. 결국 비수마는 상대 선수의 정강이를 걷어차다가 레드카드를 받고 퇴장을 당할 정도였죠. 비수마는 이미 루턴전에서의 다이렉트 퇴장, 경고 누적으로 출장 징계를 받은 바 있으며 또다시 추가 징계를 받을 예정입니다. 이번 퇴장을 두고 게리네빌은 토트넘의 거친 플레이를 비판했습니다. 게리네빌은 스카이 스포츠와의 인터뷰에서 그들을 막지 않으면 토트넘을 희생시킬 것이다. 계속 그렇게 무모하게 행동하는 건 어리석은 일이고 광기가 된다. 최근 몇 년 동안 이 팀만큼 날 흥분시킨 적이 없기에 약간 화가 난다. 팬들도 같은 생각일 거다라고 애정어린 비판을 했습니다. 하지만 포스테코글루 감독의 생각은 좀 다른 것 같습니다. 그는 선수들의 성격이 좋고 잘 참았다고 했습니다.
Obviously you're pleased with the 3 points. What pleased you most about the performance?
It's a tough game here, you know. You have to earn whatever you get. You know, they're obviously pretty desperate for points and you know, the crowd get behind them. Every time they get a throw in, you feel like you've conceded a goal. You know, you're under pressure and, you know, they're launching it in the box. And we had to deal with a lot of things we don't normally have to deal with. And just great character. We had some adversity, obviously, going down to 10 men. But some of our football was good as well, so a bit of everything.
A bit of everything, but as you said, at times it was quite chaotic. So how important is it then that you keep your heads?
Yeah, I thought that was probably the most pleasing part, that, you know, for the most part, we stayed pretty calm and composed. I thought the back four, Ben Davies and Romero were excellent. Vic was good when we needed him, and then we always had an outlet. We always looked dangerous, which meant we just didn't camp ourselves in there. So yeah, really pleased.
How happy with the Richarlison? Obviously, he's got 3 now in 2. Yeah. Did you think last weekend about keeping Son up front and moving Richarlison to left? What was your sort of deciding factor in that?
No, I really liked our setup last week with, you know, particularly with Kulusevski and Pape Sarr in there, because they just give us a real energy, and we're going to get in behind in wide areas. And Richie's a he's a goalmouth predator, you know, definitely in the air. He's got different attributes to Sonny. I didn't think we'd get him behind today. I thought we'd struggle to get space in behind. So, and I'm really pleased with Richie, you know, he's looking good at training, and that's always an indicator. I mean, people only see game to game, but watching him during the week, I was really confident he'd go out there and do another job for us.
Jamie mentioned Gary uncharacteristically shy there. Dejan Kulusevski.
Was that the first time he's ever been lost for words?
I think so. Dejan Kulusevski, Jamie mentioned him and his role in both goals, scoring one of them as well. Obviously, the injury to Brennan Johnson meant he had to move around, but he's done that quite a bit under you. Do you have a preferred position for him, or do you like the fact that he's so versatile?
Just in the starting lineup is my preferred position for him. And look, he's played 4 or 5 positions, and he's got some unique attributes. And I was explaining to Gary, he actually went through the ranks as a sort of a number 10, so we're really confident he can play in there. I like the different dimension he gives us in there, but obviously with Brennan going off, you know, he can also play on the right. You can see how effective he was there, and you know, he's becoming more of a goal threat. We've been at him all year that he's so good on the ball, gets into dangerous areas, but he can be more of a goal threat, and you know, he's starting to get that in that now.
You've had a sensational start to the season, but there have probably been 2 issues that would concern you. One is obviously injuries in the players that you've lost. The second one is sometimes during games there is a discipline problem with players tackling. Is that something that you're going to have a word with your players about? Did you think it was a clear send-off? I mean, the Basuma one tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it, but I'm assuming they slowed it down and saw it. Yeah, it's been a little bit of an issue. It's a fine line with those things. The players are aware they don't want to miss games, and you know, they know, you know, the trepidation they put in the players. I think today was more of a desperation tackle than something nasty, and you know, we've had to deal with that a few times this year, and you can't go on doing like that because eventually we'll pay a price for it. I mean, we did against Chelsea. So it's something we talk about constantly, but it's like I said, it's a fine line between their commitment to what we're trying to do and not overstepping the mark.
Yeah, but it must be frustrating though, because you now lose him till after the Africa Cup of Nations.
Yeah, we'll lose him, we'll lose Destiny, your doggy. So I got a feeling it's going to be that kind of season for us. You know, we're not going to get a smooth run at anything, but that's all right. There's nothing wrong with that at the moment. It's building resilience in the group. You know, we've got plenty of reason to make excuses. We haven't. We've gone through a rough trot. We've still got some tough games coming up. I think when you get through these periods and you're kind of steadfast in what you're trying to do, I think you come out stronger, provided you maintain belief.
Just I wanted to ask you a question. What you've done in 3 or 4 months in terms of instilling that style of play is quite staggering. Did you expect it to settle down so quickly and the players to take on board everything as quickly as they have?
I never sort of put a timeline to it, but you know, when you start pre-season, and you know, I think a few people have mentioned whoever saw our first pre-season game in West Ham, that was about 3 weeks into it. You could already see that the players were starting to embrace it. Now, I think because it's such a big change from last year, maybe the players were really receptive to it. You know, they had an open mind, and I didn't feel like there was any sort of resistance within the room about, you know, they were going to see whether I'm full of, you know what, but eventually they saw, okay, this is working, and I think that accelerated the growth. Look, I'm working with fantastic footballers. That makes a big difference. So I've been pleased with the progress, and I just think there's so much more to come.
부상과 악재 속에서도 손흥민은 동료들을 격려했고 끝까지 선수들은 멘탈을 다잡고 버틸 수 있었습니다. 이런 모습이 포스테코글루 감독이 손흥민을 사랑하고 전적으로 신뢰하는 이유라고 합니다. 여러분의 소중한 의견을 남겨주세요. 바쁘시더라도 구독과 좋아요 부탁드립니다. 지금까지 단골이시였습니다. 시청해주셔서 감사합니다.